Good day, subscribers. I am Jeremy, and this is a financial education channel. And here today, I'm going to talk a little bit about being a young business owner and some tips for young entrepreneurs that I've learned over time. I'm going to talk a little bit about pros and cons of being a young entrepreneur. So let's go ahead and talk about this. I'm a young entrepreneur, and when I say young entrepreneur, I mean someone from the age group of about 18 to 29. So that age group is kind of the one I'm specifically talking about in this video. If you're in your 30s and 40s, I wouldn't really consider you a young entrepreneur. I would think of people in their 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s as the people you would think of when you think of a business owner. And then below 18, yeah, I know some of you guys even start businesses, and that's great, but this video is not quite as tailored toward you. This is more for the 18 to 29 group. So, pros and cons of being a young entrepreneur. I'll tell you a pro right off the bat. Being young, you're going to know a lot about technology. You are going to be up to date on the latest things in the technological world, whereas older people, generally speaking, aren't going to be as up to date on that kind of stuff. So when you go to start your business, you're going to be able to use a lot of technology related things in ways the older business owners that are maybe more established don't even have a clue about. They don't know how it works. They don't know what they do. So you'll be able to come in and kind of take some market share or take some things away because you know how to use a lot of new technology things that are related to your business. There are so many different things. In my business, photography, obviously everybody knows how to take good stills with a DSLR camera, right? Very few people know how to fly a high-end drone. Very few people know how to take pictures with a high-end drone, do videos, all that kind of stuff. So someone like me that understands how to do that, it's a huge advantage for me. And in every single business group you can go across, there's tons of new technologies out there that if you know how to adapt it, you can get a leg up on all your competitors and all those older established people that aren't going to be up to date on that until years from now. They probably won't do what you're doing for years from now. And by that time, you'll already be on to the next thing. And then at that point, when you become the older person, it's just your job not to let the new guy come in and do the technology things that you don't know how to do because you're still so old school at that time. So it's about keeping up to date at that point. So that's a huge advantage you have as a young entrepreneur coming in there. A con. Let's talk about a con. Experience. Now, experience is a great thing. That's something a young entrepreneur is probably not going to have much of. The older, more established business owners, they've seen so much stuff. They've seen this happen. They know how to deal with it. They know, okay, if this goes wrong, I need to do this to fix the problem. They know how to treat customers. They know what their market segments are. They know how to talk to customers. They know how to get potential customers interested. All those kinds of things because they have experience. So that's a con of being a young entrepreneur. A lot of that stuff you just have to do trial and error and figure out, okay, this didn't work. I need to do it this way. I've had to do that a ton of times myself, where I'll try something out and it doesn't work. I'm not getting results. I'm not getting people interested. And then I go this route and I'm like, okay, now people are starting to figure it out. Now people are really interested. It's trial and error when you're a young entrepreneur, whereas the experienced ones, they know what works and what doesn't. They don't really need to try a bunch of different things anymore. Now, being a young entrepreneur, it's a beautiful thing because you're your own boss and you can control your own future. And being a young entrepreneur, a lot of times you don't have a lot of the things going on in your life that can maybe take your attention away. A lot of young people are single or they're just kind of starting out, so they don't have a lot of distractions as far as like family, having, a spouse, having kids, having all those kinds of things that are very time consuming because those are the most important things in your life. Once you have those, once you have a spouse, once you have kids, that's your most important thing. Your business is second at that point. When you're a young entrepreneur, your business can be number one. Your business can be number one because you have no spouse, you have no kids at that point. So that can just get all your attention. So that's a huge advantage to being a young entrepreneur. Also, and this is a pro and a con. You don't have as many things stressing you out when you're that young, so sometimes you can deal with stressful situations better, which is going to happen. Problems are going to come up, they're going to need fixing. Because you don't have a lot of stress in your outside world, you may be able to handle it better. But also, you may not be able to handle it better because you might have not experienced these things before, so they stress you out so much because you're trying to problem solve. You're like, oh man, this customer, they're going to leave me if I can't figure this out, and you're just stressing and stressing. So it's a pro and a con. It can work both ways in that instance. Being a young entrepreneur is an awesome thing because, a lot of your peers and whatnot are probably just starting their careers at companies and whatnot, or they're just finishing college and trying to figure out what they're going to do with their lives, and you're already got the ball rolling. You're already started your business, and you're already being successful at that. So you have the opportunity to expand later on in the coming years and whatnot, and you're already your own boss. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. What else do I want to talk about when being a young entrepreneur? Being a young entrepreneur, you need to be prepared for a lot of rejection. A lot of rejection is going to come your way. Whatever you're trying to sell, whether it's a product or service, and I've talked about this actually in a video I did that was called How to Deal with Rejection. A lot of rejection is going to come your way. You're going to try to sell a service, a product, whatever you're trying to do for your business, and more than likely, most of the people are going to say no. They're going to not be interested. And you got to learn how to not take that personally. You got to learn how to not get down about it. You got to learn to be as excited on the next customer or potential customer as the previous one. So you can't get bothered by that. You can't say, oh, shucks, it's not going to happen. No, you got to keep grinding. You got to keep going at it. You got to be prepared for that rejection, because if you're prepared, then you're going to easily be able to deal with it. And that's something a lot of older business owners are successful at, because they've already dealt with so much of that. Especially when they were starting, they've dealt with so much rejection that for them to talk to a new customer, even if that customer is not interested, it's nothing for them, because it's like, oh, just another one that wasn't, that didn't like my product or service. It's fine. I've got all these customers already. So dealing with rejection is something you really have to learn to deal with as a young entrepreneur. Where else do I want to go with this video as far as being a young entrepreneur? I don't know. Do you guys have any questions? Leave them in the comment section. If you're interested in being a young entrepreneur, you need any tips, anything you want me to talk about in future videos, I can always do a follow-up to this about being a young entrepreneur and some of those kinds of things. If you're looking for more like how to start a business, those kinds of things, I've already done a video that's called How to Start a Business, so just look that one up, and that's going to give you more information about getting your business license and all those kinds of things. This video is just trying to tell young entrepreneurs the truth about things. Some people, this is another thing, some people are going to look at you and think you're not qualified, especially if you show it. If you show it and you present yourself in a way that might look like you're unexperienced or unqualified, then it's going to give them that much more power to say, oh, no, that's not the right one to deal with. Let me get someone that's more experienced on this problem, or, doing this service for me. So you've got to really be on your A game. You've got to be very confident when you're out there. You've got to be very confident. You can't ever sweat. You can't, be nervous type thing. No, you got to be on your A game every single day with every single customer, because you're going to have a stereotype as not having much experience, not being able to deal with these things. And if you show that even for a second, that's going to reinforce the stereotype that person already might have been thinking about you. So make sure you're very confident in whatever you're doing. Whatever product or service you're trying to sell, be very confident in it. Be very confident in the field. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you like this channel, I talk a ton about personal finance. I talk a lot about business ownership, like a video like today, being a young entrepreneur. I talk some about the stock market. So if you like those kinds of subjects, go ahead and subscribe. I got a lot of videos coming in the future. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, and have a great day.